Real artists don't trace. Real artists that know how to draw don't use reference material in pictures. They go for the real thing in real life. Will you die for using reference material or tracing? Here's my thoughts. Now, when I started over 15 years ago, I wasn't very good at drawing, sketching, or being a draftsman. That came later, and I have achieved it, and I am improving on it every day. But at that time, for where my skill level was, I needed to trace. Now, tracing, what do I mean by tracing? Well, there's different ways of tracing and copying. Let's say you have a reference picture of a scene or a person or a face or an animal or whatnot, and you can copy it in a way from the picture to your paper or to your canvas. And there's many ways of doing it. One way I like is you can use a piece of graphite and lay it down on the page that you printed out with the picture. On the back of it, you lay it down and add a layer of graphite, and then set it down on your canvas or paper, and on the front side of the page, where the image is printed, you trace the outline, and you can do this in a small scale or big scale. Now, it can be helpful for people that don't know how to draw very well and they're still learning, and I believe it's completely fine. There's no trouble in that. There's no problem in that. And it's good because it allows one to be able to maybe work on what they want to more. A lot of people would rather color and add value or colors to their picture than they do sketching. A lot of people are better at that than they are at drawing and sketching, and that's okay. Now, one should work on sketching. That is very important. And learning how to sketch. It takes time. For a beginner artist, tracing, no problem. Do it. Go for it. If that's what you need right now, do it. Now, what about using reference material? That's great too. We don't all have access to going out and hiring a model, so maybe you have to use a picture. That's good. But what I do recommend is that you build your visual library, and this takes practice and time. What you may need to do is select something. Now, let's say you want to learn to draw flowers. Select that, select maybe a type of flower, open your sketchbook, and just practice over and over. Do repetitions of the flower, one after the other. Give it some time, maybe a couple weeks, to improve different angles of the flower, and then maybe in time you'll be able to sketch that flower very well without looking at it. And then this can be applied to many other things. Some things, like the human face and body, are harder than others, but this takes time. So work on mastering one thing at a time. Maybe you just need to learn overall the form and the shape of a flower, and then you can easily draw different species of flowers. Then when you're out and about, you don't have a flower in front of you or a reference picture, and you say, hey, I want to build a flower, you already know, oh, a rose is like this. And you can picture it in your head if you think in that way that you can visualize a flower, or maybe your mind works in a different way, and everybody's mind works differently, and that's great. But the point is, find a way that for your mind you can be able to recall the form, the shape, the detail of a flower. Do it your way and find what works for you. But build your visual library, and it'll take time as you practice. And man, with art, one of the main things, one of the only things, is practice. Practice makes perfect. Let me know your experience and how you developed as an artist. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.